Today's piece is Kawaii, Winky Face by Akiko Yamane, which she wrote in 2019. It's a text score. The performance instructions: produce Kawaii sound from subjective feeling, use your own musical instrument with or without any additional items slash material. Kawaii can be performed in any duration. And then there's this write-up about what the term kawaii means to Yamane as a Japanese composer. Uh, People's senses are different for each, like how performers and audiences feel, and to be precise, these can be affected by their physical condition, mood, environments, and other elements, and they sometimes transform. In this work, I actualize the momentary sense to create the communication of performers and between performed sound and audience. Through this communication, people may experience different, varied senses of others and may or may not feel sympathy, to imagine, and to get closer in a way. Kawaii is an immature and attractive Japanese-originated word. It has an aspect to refuse maturity, which is not admired expression in Western classical music, in which integrated fineness and sublime are much valued, not in persisting nor persuading away, but presenting momentary subjective feeling of performer in music to the audience. I pose the question, creating a communicative environment. Kawaii is delicate, an opposite sense to aggressiveness of today's classical music experience, that we live hectically in demanded financial efficiency and lots of competitions. Carefully focusing on this particular feeling with affection, it can be an affectionate moment and creates interactive creation and discovery of senses of individuals and the other, thinking about how their feelings can be exchanged. So that's the English translation. The following page is the Japanese. So if you speak Japanese, I highly encourage you to read this, as it's it's going to be more accurate than the translation. But I'm seeing a lot of interesting things in this write-up, like talking about phenomenology and sense. So sort of like the sensing of other musicians, how like a word like kawaii can affect our senses. And also there's this like dichotomy that Yamane is posing between um, like pop culture and classical music, right? Kawaii is from Japanese pop culture. It's highly commodified and capitalistic. Classical music is just as capitalistic, but it's more masculine, aggressive, uh, competitive, things like that. And I think it's interesting that she talks about affection too. So like, how affectionate can we be? Or I guess like the word kawaii prompts us to, it means cute, so prompts us to think like to be affectionate towards the thing that is cute, right? Prompts us to be maybe more maternal or paternal. Um, so I think that's kind of interesting too. Um, the recording today, I've listened to it before, pretty recently actually. It's this version by 5 players. It's kind of a free improv. The performers are Sumihisa Arima uh, on electronics, I guess mostly synthesizers, Masanori Oishi on saxophone, Maki Ota on voice, Aki Kuroda on piano, Gaku Yamada on guitar, performed in January of 2020, so right before the pandemic, at Toyonaka Performing Arts Center, Osaka. Um, yeah, um, so I have a link to this video in the description. I encourage you to listen to this. Today I'm actually just going to go to the gym first and listen to this after. Um, and the next half of the video now is going to be sort of like my thoughts on it. Again, I've already listened to this recording. I know that I like it, but we'll see how I feel about it today. Okay, so I changed my mind and listened to a recording I haven't heard before of this piece. This is by the Crazy Gal Orchestra. Um, it's a 4 minute version. Uh, I thought they did a pretty good job. Like the conductor does a good job of sort of being very showy and they have like a clear cue to start the piece and wrap it up. Um, I liked the use of like melodica and uh, I think clarinet mouthpiece at some point and like piccolo. Um, I don't know, it was a very busy performance. Like I don't know if this group has the most experience doing free improv. Um, so yeah, it was just generally very busy, but I think the melodica sound throughout was a nice through line, and there are some like playful visual gags and elements in it, and I did like the whole spirit of the thing. Curious what the rest of the concert looked like that it was on. The Crazy Gal Orchestra, just looking into them, they are based in Kyoto and Osaka. Um, so the members prefer to play orchestral instruments and listen to classical music. They bring their own gal minds and pursue positive self-expression based on their beliefs. Currently, they're mainly engaged in research and performance of works by women. So just based on like where they're based in Japan and their mandate, and the fact that it's like an all-girl orchestra, I think is really appropriate for this piece. Which is there's like a lot of like femininity obviously behind all things kawaii. So it's an interesting sort of thing that they chose to explore. And also they're supporting Yamane's work, which I think is really important. Uh, they're no, they're not shy from having merchandise. So if you're interested, they have keychains and stickers and things. Um, yeah, it's kind of interesting to see what is going on in the classical world in Japan. A little bit more interesting than what I'm seeing here in Canada, where I live.